slowly swaying with every oblivious nod out, his cigarette in hand but long extinguished, as I walked past him and spared the pleasantries as I began to run up the first flight of stairs, skipping 2, sometimes 3 steps all the way up, gaining momentum with each anvil leg throw. Arriving at her door, my hand went straight for the knob in lieu of the knock. I do this because we are not strangers, yet soon we will be, I thought to myself, as the door swung right open after barely rotating my hand. The door she suspiciously kept all 3 locks and deadbolt on day and night. The gate to her lair that was opening into a crimson-tinged darkness before me. She materialized from stage left of the room, my light from the hallway harshly exposing her in her one strap-off white slip as she slowly stumbled toward me like a fawn just learning to walk. Her head down in shame, her dyed black hair shrouding her wrists, she was rubbing into her eyes to dam the tears. She stopped a foot away from me, lifting her head just enough to reveal her pout, her lips quivering out her sing-songy, abused child voice.
Where did you go?
As dumb and innocent as if we had been playing a game of hide and seek, as though the last explosion down the wires never even happened. Nowhere, sweetheart. I've always been here. In fact, I think I've been here too long. I have to say goodbye now and for good. Goodbye now. I forgot to forget she was human again. That shitty, brittle orphan voice had pried itself under my skin and burrowed into my veins, contaminating the blood into my heart and my hand as I ceremoniously touched her shoulder one last time, when I should have just backhanded the words right out of her B-movie mouth. Not a second wasted, she threw her hand on top of mine in dominance and not desire, quickly grabbing my forearm with the other hand and began climbing into me, using my own flesh as a way to crawl out of her own pit. And it wasn't long before we were using my own arm in a tight wound game of tug-a-rope. She fell to her knees for desperate leverage, pulling me down as hard as she could cry. And every time I yanked the other way, she screamed like back alley rape, her tried and true secret weapon against resistance of any sort when the baby talk failed. I got my whole body outside the door, except for my left arm she was strangling, her flaking nails half buried into my skin. I managed to position her wrists into the door jamb and started slamming the door on them as hard as I could, as there was clearly no other way I was going to get out of her sad, determined talons. Her neighbors began opening their doors and coming out into the hallway with the gap looks of phony concerned, more annoyed we were killing their own private buzz.
Excuse me, want to play?
What are you doing to her? Some catatonic prick inquired. Mind your own fucking business, I barked amply, giving equal pressure to the door on her elbow, as my trying to break away from her gasp. I noticed some others down the hall with one eye on us beginning to dial their phones. That again. The pressure was on both of us now. I resorted to placing my foot on the hallway wall for added leverage, and as I gave one last yank, I heard her scream as her nails left bloody trails sliding down my arm, the door slamming shut with a quickly diminished echo down the hall, its draft stinging my new wounds. No, 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 she howled in her disapproval from the other side. I heard the door creak open again, but I was already halfway down the hall, passing each dumb neighbor as their bulging eyes zeroed in on my slaughtered forearm, now not knowing what to think. I wide-curved the corner and jumped the whole first flight of stairs like a firefighter on the way to a call, though I was already ill with adrenaline from the one I had just extinguished far too late. Instead of looking back once more, I shuffled home, imagining her whole building reduced to blackened heaps of smoldering cinders, with maybe some clues left scattered across the charcoal-smeared foundation that showed glaringly what truly negligent tenants they all were. There were no survivors. Next up, brass tacks.